Alright, how's it going, guys? Welcome back. So this is our third episode, if you guys have been following along, of putting one player's ex-teammates all together onto one single team. If you haven't checked out the previous videos and you want to, go ahead. If you're new to the channel and you could like to consider subscribing, I'd appreciate that. Never have to, but today's video is thanks to a good friend of mine, Arcade Regiment. He's went out and he's like, you know what you gotta do? Didn't even cross my mind until he brought it up, was a Jaromir Jagr team of all of his ex-players. A guy that has been around the league for a very long time, played with a lot of different teams, a lot of different players, and let me tell you what, this might be the most stacked lineup I've ever seen as far as a guy's ex-teammates are concerned. This thing is absolutely ridiculous. Let's go and take a look at this thing real quick. And I don't know why I did not realize this, but Jagr, in his first year, his rookie year with the Pittsburgh Penguins, listen to this lineup that he played with. He played with Jagr, that's him. He played with Coffey, he played with Kevin Stevens, he played with Mario Lemieux, he played with Larry Murphy, Brian Trottier, Joe Mullen, John Colin. 7 Hall of Famers on one team, and Jagr just walked into that on his rookie year. I can't imagine. That blows my mind still to this day. That is absolutely nuts. But when you look at the rest of this team here, we tried to balance it out a little bit where, you know, we understand Jagr, again, he's been in the league for what, 25 years, over 25 years. He played with a lot of guys, a lot of the legends, and he played with a lot of current players. So when it came to the forwards, we tried to include a lot of the legends that were in the game as, you know, some of Jagr's teammates. Again, we brought up some guys that we did not include in this team, obvious reasons. The guy played with so many good players, you couldn't fit them all in this lineup. But what we did do was, again, the legends, and we threw in some of the, you know, more current guys. He played with Alexander Barkov later in his career. Johnny Gaudreau, same story. Didn't play much in Calgary, but he did play a little bit. Patrice Bergeron in his short stint in Boston, where Seguin was still on the team as well. So we had Bergeron, Seguin. We didn't throw in Marchand. Could have thrown him in as well. Huberdeau, Adam Oates, another good player. And then again, we had Mullen on the fourth line there. And then the defense. What a defensive lineup. Paul Coffey, Chris Pronger, Brian Leach, Sergei Gonchar, Sergei Zubov, and then Larry Murphy. Again, just an absolutely stacked lineup here for good old Jaromir Jagr. And then on the goaltending, we did create a goalie. Could have used one in the game, but you can't leave out arguably the greatest goaltender of all time, Martin Brodeur, and he played with him, so we threw Brodeur in there, and then we also threw Tuukka Rask in there with Jaromir Jagr. But what a team! What a team by Jaromir Jagr. If this team doesn't go, early predictions, let's hear them. I'm saying 72 wins. 72 win season out of this team. It's possible they don't win that many. It really is. When you do consider it is a stacked team, yes, but at the same time, we have a lot of 88 to 92, 93 overall range where it's not on 90s, but we'll see how it goes. Early on, 5-1 start to the season. I think we expected that. The Pittsburgh Penguins killing it, 8-3. That's a little bit slow if you ask me, but there we go. They're starting to roll. They're starting to roll. Pick up that win streak there. Boston, New York, Chicago still winning games. New York, the Devils picking up the W against the Leafs. This win streak is going to end, though, on the back-to-back against the New York Islanders and the New Jersey Devils. Still a team. They're not going to hit 70. They won't hit 70 unless they go on about a 50-game win streak, because they're just about to hit double-digit losses on this season. But again, we brought it up. You know, we got some older guys on the team, some older guys, some younger guys, how they, you know, develop throughout a season. But I'd assume they don't really change much in overall because it is season mode, not franchise. And they'll you know, just a one season thing. So we should be fine there. We'll see at the end of the season. But 41, 12, and 1. We're actually going to be really close. We're not going to get 70 wins, but the team could still get maybe 60. 60 is not out of reach here going into the last month of the season with 50 wins. It's rather easy, really, if they can win about 10 of these games. And they should be able to do it. Win 6 about the last 12. Yeah, Pittsburgh's going to do it. Pittsburgh's going to take care of business. Jagr and friends going to drop a 63-win season. Oh, man, they're going up against the Lightning in the first round. Poor Tampa Bay. You would have thought the Lightning would have been the favorites to win this Stanley Cup if it wasn't the Penguins. But the Lightning not even going to be a division winner by the looks of it. We'll take a look at the stats as far as the Penguins are concerned. Lemieux led the team with 100 points. So that stacked team still 100 points. But they had a lot of guys that had to eat, right? So, you know, there's probably a lot of minutes being shared with a team like that. Jagr, 94 points, 20 goals, and 74 assists? Really? Jagr, all right then. 83 points out of Mark Messier, 76 for Trottier, 9 goals and 50 assists out of Paul Coffey. So a really solid season by a lot of these guys, as we expected. Doesn't look like there's a single guy that went negative on his season. It looks like Mullen was a +2. That was the worst one, but still Very solid player there in Mullen on this season. Who led the team in goals? It was probably Messier, or not Messier, but Lemieux easily, right? Yeah, 64 goals. 64! Him and Jagr just going to town together. What a season by Lemieux right there. Then Brodeur, 42 wins, 11 losses on the season. Not bad. 21-6 for Tuca back there with the 921. Brodeur, actually, interestingly enough, a 906 save percentage for a guy that was a 93 overall. You would have thought that would have been easy money for him. Maybe that's why the team didn't win 70. If Brodeur drops that 920 save percentage, maybe they win 70 easily. But instead, Brodeur, 2.37 goals against average. Still a very solid season. Still very close to the Vezina. You wonder how much they look at that save percentage opposed to just the wins there. But taking a look into standings here real quickly, the Penguins 128 points as we expected. The Flyers, Hurricanes, and Islanders making it. No Capitals. No Capitals, no Blue Jackets, no Rangers, no Devils. The Atlantic is what we wanted to see here. Tampa had 91 points, 104 out of the Panthers. Kind of surprising. Tampa only 91 points. I wonder what would have caused such a down season for them there. It was the Penguins that won the President's. Philly, wondering what they can do. 107 points, and they finished second in the division. Colorado, 108. The worst team making playoffs was the 91-point Vancouver Lightning. But here we go. Jagr and all of his ex-teammates coming together, reuniting here. It's crazy. It still blows my mind he played that many years in a league. Like, you're talking, like, the crazy thing with Jagr is, imagine you had like a 22-year-old, not even 22-year-old. I guess you could have said Lemieux, for example. You know, he played with the Lemieux, and then he played like 5 years with his son. Maybe he did that with somebody, and I just don't know it. Where he played with somebody's father and his son. That's crazy, but to think he could have easily done it with, you know, how many years he was in the league. The Penguins got to make it out of the first round pretty easy, 4-2 there. A little more challenging than expected, but I still think Tampa, toughest team in the playoffs, even though there was a playoff or a wild card team here. So we got past them. Now it's Philly. Philly is no easy foe. 107-point season. Right now they find themselves down 2-0 to these Pittsburgh Penguins, though. So far, looking pretty good. The 4-game sweep coming in hot, going to the conference finals versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. All right, the Leafs can get it. The Leafs can get it right now, up 2-0 against the Leafs. We brought it up. Tampa might have been the biggest challenge here since beating Toronto or Tampa in that first round. It has been 2 straight sweeps for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Can they make it a third against the Minnesota Wild? Excuse me? How did the Minnesota Wild get into playoffs? I don't know, but they're up 2-1 in the series. We better settle down here, fellas. We better settle down. There's the W. 2-2 series tie going into a game number 5. There's an overtime loss. The Pittsburgh Penguins, as loaded gets, are 1 game away from losing to the ever so underdog Minnesota Wild in the Stanley Cup. And they just did it. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it. To the Minnesota Wild. Who would have expected that one? Who predicted Minnesota Wild to upset the team of all teams in the Stanley Cup Finals? But there we have it. Jagr looking good. Look at the man, just to look back. Imagine being Jagr and being able to go back and tell all of his kids who he played with. Nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, a big thumbs up, subscribe, appreciate it. Again, never required. If you guys have a future, player you want to see us do a team of, let us know as well. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.